Hello, hello, everybody. It's your Infinite Creativity SABSANG with Sab in Paris. Now we've added irreverence, and we might do some creative exploration. We might do some transformational coaching. We might do some self-inquiry, or we might just talk about this and that and whatever comes to my mind. It's your show as much as anything. So I would like you to throw some creative links at me. Have you created anything good this week? Have you created anything this week? Sorry, I shouldn't have said good. I don't like, ideas of good and bad and success and failure and perfect and imperfect and comparison. They've all gone. They've gone from my universe. And if I'm working with someone or talking to anybody about creativity and they come up with some ideas of, their stuff not being good enough or not being ready, then I jump on them, literally. No. And tell them I don't believe them or that I don't believe in what they believe. So I just had that, actually. I wonder if I'm just going to have a look at some comments. We've got some comments already. Maybe they're me commenting on the thing. Chris is here. Chris says, I'm struggling with how to resize photos. Any suggestions? Maybe. Yaruska says, bonjour Sab, bonjour. And for me, it's bonsoir here in Paris. I'll get to your questions. Well, your question. I have a question. Yeah, it's a question day. And I'll talk to you about that in a second, if I think of anything to say. Basically, resizing photographs is very easy. As far as I'm concerned. So if I know something that you don't, I'll tell you, okay? So it's been a busy week. I was going to say a strange week, but it hasn't been a strange week. It's just been a normal week. So to be honest, quite a lot of my weeks seem strange. Normal weeks are strange in that new stuff happens, which I haven't done before. I'm doing things like this, new stuff happens. And I've got a mug in front of me that looks like this. It's huge. It's grande taille. I found this in the street today. Grande taille. That means big size. Big size. And I have an idea for a funny photograph with this in it, but I'm not sure if I can say any more than that. Interesting form, isn't it? So I'm worried that when I say lots of things happen, I'm going to go bam, and this huge mug, it's nearly like half a liter or something, like a pint of coffee is going to land on you, basically, which wouldn't be very nice. So there's that. Yeah, a huge amount has happened this week. It's been really exciting in terms of creativity. New stuff is happening. And yeah, there's just a lot of really great new stuff happening. Amazing plans for next year. I'm going to tell you about my 3 masterclasses, photography, writing, and creativity. I'm going to tell you about my retreats, which I'm going to plan for next year. Cross our fingers, coronavirus, that people can actually come to Paris. I want to run 3 Paris retreats next year. And, a ton of other stuff. I started my newsletter most days with creative tips, and just things are really happening. I did a nice photo tour yesterday, walking around Montmartre for a few hours. Really good stuff. I will look at your questions, seeing as you're here, and you've asked a question. Chris says, I'm struggling with how to resize photos. Any suggestions? And then she says, resizing for printing to fit a certain size paper. So Chris is a photography masterclass friend who did and does my photography masterclass with great results. And she started a great blog. I think I showed it last week, a great page. And there's no reason why I shouldn't show it again very quickly. And it's about hearts. So that's what happens, you see. You get in action, you decide to do something. Talking about unseen, hidden hearts abound, and you get in action. Ideas come, then you have an idea, you follow it through, and before you know it, you can't see this yet. Before you know it, what am I doing? I was sharing screens and I just stopped sharing it. Before you know it, new things are happening because you took action. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of taking action. You never know what's going to happen, but it's almost always good. It's always positive. You know, you've at least, or even if it doesn't seem positive, you still learn from it. So take action. So here's Chris's Hidden Hearts. Really good idea. I'll get rid of that for 1 second. And all of a sudden, people all over the world are finding hidden hearts in flowers, in puddles, in trees, in clouds. It's really, really great. I was going to say it's really heartening. I did say it's really heartening. So what about you? What have you created this week? This is a big question of mine. While that's loading, I've got a question here. It says, share your creative links and questions, and I'll chat about them on the Infinite Creativity SABSANG at 2100 hours Paris time, which is now. So give me questions. Give me questions about creativity or productivity, like having amazing ideas, pushing past the barrier of doing anything with them, and then producing stuff from that. Anything about creativity to productivity, from having the first idea to letting go of your creation that you've created and giving it to somebody else, for example. Anything in that spectrum I want to hear about and I want to talk about with you. Yeah, so here it is, Hidden Hearts. Join the group. It's called Hidden Hearts Abound, and run by the wonderful Chris. I think she's near Chicago. Is that right, Chris? And what have we got? We've got new ones. Look, there's a kind of a heart in this. I saw a heart, actually, first of all, sort of half a heart in the swan's neck. But then this whole metal thing for holding the swan is a heart. That's from Robin. And we've got a heart in a leaf. Leaves, a lot of leaves look like hearts. This is a flower which kind of looks like a heart. You know, you can imagine it like that and like that. Beautiful color, very, very soft, isn't it? Soft, powdery sort of blue. God, I love powder blue. It's just amazing. This is like a flower head or a multi-flower head from Chris. And it's huge. I mean, it's almost a heart, isn't it? You can imagine a heart. I mean, if you drew a heart shape around it, it would be. What's this? What's this? Haven't seen these ones yet. There's a heart on the thing there. And are we seeing a heart in the hole in the clouds? The rainbow flags there. I wonder where that is. What country is that? And that's from Dorothy. And there's a heart in some fried food. Great. Yeah. So, you know, anything, do anything, go for it. Be creative. See what happens. You never know. It'll always be good. So give me questions. So yeah, Chris is in the Chicago area. So on now, and she says, thank you for showing off your page, I guess. Yeah, well, that's what this show's about. I don't want it to be about me all the time. So you give me more stuff about you and there'll be less talking about my stuff. Anything you've created this week, give me a link to it in the chat and I will go and find it and we can look at it together. And if you have questions, please. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know if I know about this. Resizing for printing to fit a certain size paper. I mean, I know about pixels and stuff, and you can find, I remember wanting to print something on a piece of A4 recently, A4 in the States. I don't even know if you've moved over to A4 and A3 and A5, you know. This postcard is A6 sized. Two of those together is A5. It's like a flyer size. Okay, and then two of those make an A4 piece of paper. And I remember I wanted to print on an A4 piece of paper. And I actually literally, I didn't know if it was the right question, but I Googled how many pixels in a piece of A4 paper. And it gave me a number, which ended up giving me a nice print on a piece of A4. I mean, obviously, the resolution, if you want to print at, 300 dots per inch, it's not going to be the same number of pixels as if you print at 72 or whatever you choose. So yeah, honestly, it's kind of tricky. Resizing for printing to fit a certain size paper. I mean, you can open. I've printed from Word document, Publisher, Microsoft Publisher document, PDF, of course. JPEGs, PNGs, you know, all these different formats. And basically, if I want it to print on an A4 piece of paper, I open a document which is A4 sized, import the image, and make the image fill the page, and then print it. So, you know, that doesn't, you're kind of at the mercy of what happens to the pixels when you blow it up or shrink it to fit your A4 piece of paper, but at least it prints A4 size, you know. That's about as technical as I get. So, you know, do stop me, ask questions, please. That's what I want. Maybe I'll even incite you to ask questions. No, actually, I'll ask you this. Where do you get your best ideas? I'd love to know. I mean, there's cliches like in the shower and stuff, but what about you? Okay, so let me show you some more stuff. These are my photos from the week, and no, they're not. These are my photographs from the week. Actually, this is not true. This is last week. There's about an hour-long show on Mondays for photography, only for photography. I talk about my photographs, I analyze them, I talk about your photographs, I critique them friendlily, of course, and you send in your photographs and I will talk about them. So this show today is anything about creativity, but obviously because photographs is one of my main ways of being creative, I obviously share my photographs and my writing with people. So that was last week. I've done another chapter already. I'm actually on the next chapter, has just been finished today. So you can see that was a fun week, and I had a really nice discussion about this panel in the photography show, because the panel is meta composition, not just the photograph. The photograph is one thing, making it look amazing, but what about if you put photographs together? Then you try to make the photographs together look amazing, and that's a whole different topic. So unfortunately, well, I'm not going to talk about that here, because in case you watched or will watch the photography show. What I can do, though, is quickly show you some of the most recent pictures. This I published today, and this is... I better get rid of these things here. They're getting in the way. Okay, I'll get rid of that for the moment. You can have that if you like. Look, infinite creativity. And yeah, so I'll get rid of that as well. This is the little railway that runs around Paris. It doesn't work anymore. It's called 𝗲𝗏𝗡𝗡𝗔𝗓, which means the little belt. It's like a belt going around Paris. And you see all over Paris, you see little snippets of it, like a tunnel, no, or like a cutting deep way down in a park in Paris, more than one park actually. And some people, they walk along it and you think, how did they get there? You know, look at the walls. Did they abseil down them? And you just wonder, who are they? And oh, look at that tunnel, just this mysterious black tunnel you've got to go into. So that was really cool. I love this sort of photograph. And then there's the text that goes with it. This text is about something new that I've just done. Let me read it to you, and you can see what it's about. When in doubt, put another Facebook out. A Facebook group out. You know, I mean, I swore I would stop creating Facebook groups. So I created a new Facebook group 2 weeks later. The thing is, I've been on Facebook with pictures and stories about Paris for many years, maybe decades. But I realized I didn't have a Facebook group for Paris. And more these days, I was talking with Chris about this earlier, more and more these days, Facebook groups are the place where things are happening, where real connection is happening. And pages are getting staler and staler. This is my own personal opinion. I mean, obviously, if you've got a page which is, you know, it's lively and so on, then that's great. And I would like my pages to be lively, but they're not. That's a lot of that's to do with me not you know, promoting them as much in the last few years. But also the interaction is one way. It's like basically the person who owns the business, the page, it's about a topic. Normally it's about a thing, a product or a service. It's like a shop window. We tell you about our latest stuff and we hope that we get a couple of people saying that's nice. but it's not a place for interaction. And more these days, Facebook and any sort of online, I was going to say communication, but then the second half of the sentence is about communication. People seem to be wanting closer and closer connection with real human beings as opposed to products and things like that. And that's why I'm doing these lives all the time. I'm doing up to, like, I'm at 2, 3, 4 maybe per week. And those are just the scheduled ones. Why? You know, what the hell? Do you want to see my face every time? Well, no, you can always not watch. You know, that's definitely an option. And a lot of people choose that option, actually. But if you do want to watch, if you are wondering who this guy is that you're planning on maybe doing a masterclass with, or doing a Paris retreat even, this is for next year, 3 Paris retreats, a photography retreat, a writing retreat, and a creativity retreat, which is still about, it's kind of personal development, but it's also around a project. Okay, it's not just completely vague, let's feel better about ourselves. It's about creativity and applying that quite intensely to, actually, as I say that, that's kind of more the masterclass. Anyway, I'm making it up as I go along. So these retreats will be real retreats. If everything goes according to plan, people will be staying together for the duration. I'm hoping it'll be, you arrive on Sunday evening, the retreat will be officially from Monday until Friday, and then you leave on Saturday morning. That's the plan. And I think it'll just be amazing. Paris will be my backdrop, but the activities will be closely linked to Paris. You know, it's not like doing a retreat on some topic and it's in some random nice place. Paris is integral to everything I do. So it'll be woven in. I can't escape Paris. It's the metaphor I use. It's the backdrop I use to everything I do. So I'm excited about those. I just have to cross my fingers that people can actually come to Paris, you know, next time, because I hope a few people will come from the States, Canada, and so on. And if we're still stuck with travel arrangements, that could be tricky. So why am I saying that? Because, yeah, I've had this passion for Paris for many, many years. Photography, the curiosities and the history of Paris, walking around it, and, you know, quite a few possibly sordid stories as well. So I had groups about Paris. I used to do Paris quizzes in pubs and stuff years ago. So I wanted to get back to that, you know. I think you go through this kind of, one of my theories, I have several, in the sort of, you start to lead your life in your 20s, you think, you know, you're going to get the good job and stuff and all the rest of it. And then you kind of get okay for sometimes. And then you reach this point where you think, well, you know, I don't seem to be as happy as I thought I would be. So, and then you sort of ask yourself, what can I do about that? And I've now forgotten why I said that, of course. So my theory is that when you get to that questioning stage, the questions you are led to and through, eventually, maybe after 10 years or 20 years of searching and a hell of a lot of personal development courses or self-help courses, maybe, you end up with this amazing revelation, you know, which you've spent many, many thousands on, but you could actually have had for 2 cents, is that you've got to be happy with where you are. You think, oh shit, why didn't someone just tell me that 20 years ago and I could have started from then? But there's something fun about the process, and maybe you come to the realization that you've just got to be happy where you are only through some desperate searching and, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure. Yeah, this is it. So basically, when I came to Paris, I was passionate about photography and so on, and writing about Paris and the curiosities of Paris. You know, like a little plaque. What is that plaque on the ground there? What does it mean with that strange symbol? Or, you know, did you know that behind that wall is an old, I don't know, World War II air raid shelter in the train station? Just hundreds and hundreds of crazy curiosities. And I lost it. Towards the end of my 30s and my 40s, I was kind of a lost soul, swimming around, not really knowing what was going on, sinking to an extent, and you know, messing up all sorts of relationships and things. And And now I actually feel I'm ready to almost leave personal development behind and just go and take photographs all day and enjoy them. And that's it, you know, until I die. Or talk about, or I'm so excited to find more curiosities of Paris and to write a book about the curiosities of Paris, you know? So I'm going to do that. So that's why I'm revamping my Paris presence. You know, I used to be known as that Paris guy, and then I kind of lost it. So let me just read this in case it's of interest. Welcome to the brand new Paris Set Me Free forum. It's a group. I've just started a group. And a humble home for these Paris photo chronicles, where I'll offer quirks and quizzes and news of my friendly Paris tours and creative Paris retreats. My restless mind is itching to get started on my Paris metaphors book, so maybe I'll share some drafts of that there too. I used to run Paris-themed quiz nights years ago, so there's also raw material for that hanging around somewhere. Not to mention resuscitating my Paris Top 10 Curios series. This was such fun. I picked some obscure topic like doorknobs, and I tried to find the best 10 doorknobs in Paris. If Alice was watching, it would be lamps, you know, the craziest lamps in Paris. The 10 wildest metro signs, not like any others. It was such fun. And there was one, let me tell you, covering everything from obscure plaques to obscene statues. Now that was fun. Yeah, I did this topic and I managed to find a few obscene statues scattered around Paris. That was one of my top 10s. So if you fancy a wander off the beaten Paris tourist trail, check out my new Paris Set Me Free group. There are 5 members. There's me. There's 3 pages I joined in as well. So that's still me. And someone else who joined. Maybe it's Chris, maybe it's someone else. So there's plenty of room if you want to join. And the number of times I've said the word Paris in this piece, you'd think I was trying to get you interested in Paris, or that Paris was my main concern here. Well, Paris Set Me Free can also be read Paris Set Me Free. It's kind of a gilded prison is Paris, but for want of a place I'd rather be, it'll certainly do for now for me. Come over and see. So I wrote that this morning. So occasionally these will be sort of poetic or telling you about a bit of Paris, and sometimes it'll just be a bit about my life. What about you? Do you write kind of chronicles of your life every day, or where you're based, or your thoughts? Do you journal? This is kind of my journaling. And I've heard that journaling is a really cool technique to get your thoughts out and down, and to give you ideas. And possibly if you write in a certain style, they could become a book if you tailor it so that it's publishable, or you can just publish it on the internet like I do. Quite a few people, they ask me if I haven't wanted to be published, or write a book. Someone asked me last week about my photographs, why haven't you done a book? And in a way, it's because society thinks that you've only arrived as a whatever it is you like doing if you've had a book published. I mean, it certainly gives you some sort of perceived authority. People think you're someone if you've got a book published. And if you can say bestseller, even though that's bull, it doesn't really mean anything. You can be a bestseller in so many tiny categories. Sorry. So it's an interesting question. Why have I never wanted to get a book published, or to, what else can you do? Yeah, have an exhibition of photographs or painting. What do you think about that? Do you think that people are only valid or validated by society if they've had a book published, or if they've had an exhibition or something? Or do you think you can just do it in your own right? And you can, because I mean, for me, I try to make, I'm sure my photographs are as passionate as I can possibly make them. There's huge stories, there's legacies of lives in there, there's all sorts of things. So if I published a book, it wouldn't be any different to what I do now. So the material is the material. So all the book publishing or exhibition or whatever would be doing maybe 2 things: validating me in the eyes of others, because I could say I've had an exhibition, but it might also get me better known, or it might get you better known. So that's kind of, I'd like to share my stuff with more people. So that's maybe could be a good reason for wanting to be published. But no, I generally say, I don't know, it doesn't really interest me. Maybe it would if I could get my work out there more. Anyway, so this is, I've got a comment. Hey, I've got a comment. 𝗖𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗍 says, Paris catches and you can no longer leave. When I did my poem, my famous, well, famous to me, poem called, oh, I think I gave, this poem from 23 years ago. It's called My Reality. And the last line of it is Paris Set Me Free. See, it says, My Reality. From 1997. This is my Paris, my reality. No one sees what I see. It belongs to me. This is my sky. These are my clouds, my reality. I belong to no one. Paris set me free. And I wrote that before I used the word, the phrase Paris set me free for basically all my Paris stuff. That's where it came from. And the book, if I publish a book, will probably be called Paris Set Me Free. The retreats will probably be called Paris Set Me Free. And that came from that poem, me gazing out towards Paris from outside of Paris, actually, kind of seeing it in a soup bowl. Yeah, so I like Paris Set Me Free because it can be Paris set me free. So I was in prison before and Paris freed me. Or you can imagine a comma after the Paris, like you're saying, Paris, please set me free from this prison, this sort of, gilded cage you've constructed around me. But I like it like that. I like the fact that I found a place I like and that inspires me somehow. So I agree, 𝗖𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗍. Yeah. There is something about it. But I always insist as well that where you are should be your Paris. I'm not saying Paris is the best place in the world. It just happens to be where I landed. But I would love everybody to land somewhere where they feel as good as I do in Paris. And I really try and help people to do that. I encourage people to do that, to either find a place that they love and try and make it more of their life, or to feel really happy with where they are, to see that where they are is great. If it isn't, or they don't feel it is, you can either change your sort of reality by moving somewhere else, or if you feel like it, you can kind of change the way you look at things. But fundamentally, you've always got to change the way you look at things, I guess. But sometimes it would just actually be better to get out of a physical situation that you're not happy in. That might be the best thing. You're not going to be with someone abusive, for example, and change the way you look about their abuse. You think about their abuse. You're going to leave the person who's abusing you. So you see what I'm saying. So that was that. This is another one, which I'll show you about 4 of these. This is I had someone writing to me, an artist who does really grungy creations on something called gel plates, and she said that she liked this. What did she say? But anyway, but I have to admit, I think this is one of the greatest architectural disasters that Paris has done. There's 4 of these. They're this sort of shape, you see. They're this shape on end. So it's the theory is that the concept is it's an open book, and there's 4 of them. They're the 4 corners of a kind of rectangle, because it's the National Library. But oh my God, they could have done better than this. And there were all sorts of design cock-ups and stuff like that. But it's what it is, and there it is. And you can get some impressive photos. And the funny thing is, wandering around, I think it was a Sunday morning. What happens on a Sunday morning? Well, around this blasted, like wind blasted, literally concourse or open area, which is like soulless. Actually, on a Sunday morning, there's a bunch of people doing all this weird stuff. Like these people are punching the crap out of each other, but they're probably not really, but it's all kickboxing and stuff. And then a bit further along, you've got people doing sort of a yoga sort of styly going on there. You've got other people doing pretty serious aerobics, like jumping up and down with someone. Come on, guys, you can do it. And then a bit further over, you've got I don't know, any other stuff, and it's really quite interesting. So there's something fun, isn't there, about this sort of this building, which is almost the epitome of soullessness. And then you've got these humans doing their thing in its shadow. In its shadow. And this looks like it could be a shadow, but in fact it's not. It's a reflection. So this thing here, if you see my mouse, is the reflection of this other bit here, and vice versa. So it's a very interesting effect. It almost looks like a cross, but it's two reflections. So despite it being a bit monstrous, you can actually get some pretty impressive pictures. And I played with the clouds and stuff, so that's kind of cool. This is a little bit similar actually, because it's got these same sort of windows, not much character to them, going up right the way to the top of the picture. But then you've got a chimney reflected in those windows, and lo and behold, in front of the building there's a couple of sculptures which, well, in my text I wondered what they were. I thought they could either be chimneys to sort of echo the chimney opposite, or maybe they look a little bit like maidens to me, maidens with long flowing hair, which is quite nice as well. Maybe the idea was that they could be both. So that was pretty cool. I like that one as well. I won't read you the stuff. You can always read the stuff. You read it on this page. ParisSetMeFree.com has all of my Paris Photo Chronicles, and I'm now up to number, would you believe it? Well, this number, for example, was number 940. And I'll take that as an opportunity to remind you that 940 days ago, I started this project. And today I'm on number 940, which is a book, if you think about it. It's a big book, a really big book. And it just happened because I found something that I like doing every day. I had this vague idea in my mind of a future moment when I'd have a lot of them. But actually, the joy for me is in every single day starting this adventure. First thing in the morning, I sit down, I choose the picture of the day from my rambles around Paris. I let it inspire my text and I publish it. And I publish it in various places. As you know, I've got various places. I recycle my stuff, repurpose it. I can only do so much, but I think it's a good thing, actually. You do something you really are passionate about. I'm passionate about the photography, passionate about the words, and I share it in various places, in various different forms. And that's it. I'm happy. I'm a happy bunny. And I feel that I've had a good, productive day, creative day. And I want to do the same thing the next day. And as soon as you can find that, you don't have to write a book. It'll write itself, you know. I mean, I could publish a 1,000-page book. Or if I had a picture here and then the text here, a 2,000-page book. And this is quite amazing for me because I'm not someone who has been able in the past to do such a thing. And it was only when I realized that I ought to carry on doing the thing I do to avoid doing other stuff. If I actually decided that I'm doing the stuff that I use to avoid other stuff, that's what I'm going to do. There isn't going to be other stuff to avoid. That's what I'm going to do. That's my thing. From there, things explode. You feel good about yourself and your passion comes through, I think. I wouldn't be doing this live if I didn't have something I'm passionate about to talk about. And it wouldn't be probably teaching English to French executives like I did for many years. It wouldn't be serving in McDonald's. It wouldn't be cleaning the streets. You know, there's a lot of things it wouldn't be. But photography and writing is something that it is. So I really try to help people to find that thing. And it doesn't have to be doable immediately, you know, but it just start small, but start. That's the thing. Just start. And then pretty soon you'll push out the stuff that isn't such fun with the stuff that's more fun. And things like big books or projects or exhibitions will happen. You know, I mean, I had an exhibition last year in a little art gallery in my town here. If I hadn't been painting and taking photographs, I wouldn't have been able to pop into the gallery and say, I take photographs and I paint. would you like me to exhibit here? And have them say yes. They wanted me to do it this year as well, a return visit, but we couldn't because of coronavirus. So I'm doing it next year. So as soon as you start doing something humbly, very humbly, less humble things will appear. And that's why I'm here. That's the second half of my raison d'être, my reason for being. The first half is to create stuff and share it. And the second half is to help other people to be as creative as they'd like to be. So you. And all my blogs and everything are based on that, really. Creating stuff and then getting other people to create stuff too. I love that. It's really nice, isn't it? You've got the dramatic lines of the windows, the Chris's and the crosses. But then you've got these, although it's still metal, and although the metal does have kind of horizontal lines on it, sort of scarred into it, it still curves and wavy curves, even though it's metal. It's wavy metal. So those contrasts are beautiful. So would anyone have anything to share with me? Because I would like to highlight your work. So please, if you see that, it says share your creative links and questions. And I would love to answer your questions or talk about your questions and show your creative stuff. So if you give me a link, I will show it if I can. By the way, if you're watching anywhere than Paris on my Paris profile, my SAB Paris profile on Facebook, I won't see your questions. You need to be watching on facebook.com/SAB Paris, or I won't see your questions, because I can actually look somewhere. Maybe lots of people have been asking. No, they probably won't have. No, I don't seem to have any questions there, but there might be, and I don't see them. So in my that's my Infinite Creativity Now group, which is fun. It's focusing on creativity and basically anything except photographs and writing, although you can, of course you can. And today's the day is where you publish cool things that you've done today. So I've put those in both of those groups. But if you do want to ask me questions, then it's going to be on the SAB Paris profile, my profile, the thing you get to when you click on my little face. That's where this is taking place, and I can see your comments. And it's on YouTube too. All right, so what else can I tell you about? I think I've got one more of these to show you. Then I'll tell you about a couple of lives that I did this week, which I'm really happy about because I needed to get them going again, and now I have. This one is cool. This is a very strange stone which you see in Paris, in a park in Paris, the Parc Montsouris. And it's this big monolith with a round bit at the top with a hole in it. And that's very strange, isn't it? Very curious. And I think the text is probably worth reading because it'll tell the story better than I can. Again, please give me your comments if you like. I don't want to feel that I'm alone here. I'm almost alone, probably. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. Leave comments on the replay and I will answer them. I still see the comments, just not live. This is the text. Here it goes. Need I hammer home how irritating it is? Let me just get rid of the... I'll get rid of that for a second. Need I hammer home how irritating it is, as I'm about to impress my lady friend with the fascinating history of this holy stone, it's got a hole in the top, when some sweaty tourist, seeing us contemplating it quizzically, proceeds to spontaneously spout her potted guidebook spiel with a smug little smirk to boot. I think not. Doesn't she know who I am? Ego bruised maybe as much as Napoleon's would have been if he'd seen his name erased from the "in the reign of" inscription halfway up this Parisian meridian marking monolith. Merde! That's a bad word in French. Ha! She didn't know that about Napoleon, though our 2-cent smarty pants. Wounded pride? Still licking. Yeah, she kind of stole my fire there. And I was desperate, like this tourist who saw us looking, me and a friend looking at this thing. And I've studied the history of this. I've written articles on this damn thing. And this damn tourist jumps in and starts telling us and my friend the story of it. And I'm thinking, do I shut up? Do I say, I know that? And I know that. No, I know. Well, you don't, do you? But I knew that. I knew what she was saying. I did. And I wanted my friend to know that I knew it. And anyway, so that was kind of funny. I'm kind of joking, it's funnier than I'm not really, my ego isn't really bruised. Well, not really. But it's so fascinating because you see that it's like gouged, it's not gouged out, it's very nicely cut out of the stone. That rectangle there, the stone has been cut out because it said Napoleon, in the reign of Napoleon, because he was an emperor, a sort of self-declared emperor. But it's basically like a king who wasn't born a king. And, with all his emperor airs and graces. And in France, you've had revolution and counter-revolution. It went back and forth, back and forth. And every time it changed, you'd have the new lot went around destroying any evidence of the old lot as much as they could. So the revolutionaries would try and get rid of anything relating to royalty or religion. And then when there would be a counter-revolution and the royalists kind of got back a bit of power, they would go around getting rid of anything to do with revolution or empire. And it kind of went on like that for a few decades. So Napoleon's name was erased from there. And if you walk around Paris in some of the older streets, the names of the streets that were Saint someone, the Rue Saint quelque chose, like Rue Saint-Denis or something, you will see that the word saint, has been gouged out in the same way as Napoleon has been gouged out here, because that was the revolutionaries not wanting any reference to religion, like saints. Pretty interesting stuff. These are the sort of curiosities of Paris I'm talking about. And the thing itself is actually there were two of them. One was in the north of Paris, on Montmartre, actually, and the other one was in the south, not on where it is now. And it was to mark the Parisian meridian, because back in the day, France was more influential than Britain, because Britain's got it now. You see, Britain's got the 0 hour, the meridian going through Greenwich Mean Time, GMT. And but before that, when French was the international language of everything, basically commerce and culture and cuisine and all that, they were also they sort of, because they were the best, they said, right, time's going to start with us. We've got the meridian, and it's the real one. It's the best one. Trump would probably like to have the meridian, because it would obviously be the best one if he got it. So they had the meridian, everything else was sort of measured from, more or less, and then they didn't. But the stones are still there. The other one is in this garden, which I haven't seen, in some sort of hidden garden in Montmartre. There's another one like this, and I want to see it before I fall off the planet, damn it. Chris is saying, so what was the hole on top for? I'm so glad you said that, because that's going to show up my ignorance. Why was there a damn hole? It might be because you looked through it and you lined them up. You lined that hole up with the hole on the other one in the north of Paris, on the hills, you see. They were both on hills. So you could actually look through and line them up and maybe shine a light through. No, I don't think they had lasers in those days. And that would be a way of calibrating, I don't know, other meridians or carrying on the line. I mean, the stone would probably have worked itself. To be honest, you see, I'm sort of bluffing here, not actually knowing why there's a hole, which is basically what stimulates me to go and find out what the hole was for. I mean, you can do it. We'll be probably searching the same internet. So if you find out before I do, let me know. We got some more comments. Oh my God. Yeah. So Yoruska's saying 2 buildings seem one embedded with the other. Yeah, it's a very strange effect, isn't it, on those buildings that I was looking at earlier. Yeah, it was this one here. And she says, how you do it as a reflection. That probably the translation is how do you know it's a reflection? Well, the windows are shiny, very flat and shiny, and I can see, this This is the continuation of this. Maybe it's not obvious what this looks like. It's actually, it's like this. The building is actually like this, you see. It's an L shape with extremely reflective sides. And Chris is saying, how far away is one from the other? Back on the stone there. Well, the distance of the north, from the north of Paris to the south of Paris, which is a few miles. Not that many, actually, because one of the wonders of Paris is you can actually walk across it in a day easily, depending on what you do. You know, a few hours walk across Paris, north to south, east to west, along the river. It's very doable. It's the incredible thing. There's so much richness, and yet it's not as big as London. The French always love London, and I love Paris, and they don't understand why I don't love London. But for me, Paris is so compact. There's so much in there, but you can get around it fairly easily. If you walk more or less the same direction for an hour or two, you've covered a lot of Paris. Or you can choose an area like I did yesterday. I went on a Paris photo tour in Montmartre, which is my most popular photo and curiosity tour, actually. And we took hours just wandering around tiny bits of Montmartre, because there'd be an interesting statue. We'd go for photographs, different angles, different people taking different shots. Before you know it, you've been next to one curious statue for half an hour. It's just incredible. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to just keep doing this. And I want to move back to my love of Paris. Not get away from the self-development thing, but I think I've developed plenty in the last few years. I'm ready to help others develop if they wish to explore what they're up to with me. But just get back to my roots of my initial love for Paris. The reason I came here and stayed. That's what I want. As well as, you know, working with other people. That's the other half. Okay, yeah, it's a reflection, believe me. Yaruska, she published a lovely picture. I wonder if I can remember where it was. Was it in Today's the Day? And I think it was a... Now this is Yaruska. This is Yaru. I'm trying to blow it up. It was amazing bollards, green bollards going into the distance. And this looks like it's almost a reference to one of my photographs, which is this one. Yeah, you can compare those two. It would be interesting to know if I influenced this picture. Did I? The angle, the bollards. See, she's got them all in a row, so it looks like one is above the other. And there I've got them coming on from the side. So it's a completely different look. Very, very effective, very good. And actually, just before my Montmartre tour, because my guests were an hour late, nice, but I didn't waste it. I walked around taking photographs. What does a poor photographer do? And I found another bunch of bollards. I wonder if I could show you those, because they really were cool. I'm just going to try and find them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've got them. I don't necessarily want to show you the people because they haven't given me permission to show their faces. I'm not sure. There wouldn't be a problem, but you know. Oh, of course. Sorry, no, I don't have them because I only transferred over the photographs that had my clients in them. Anyway, it's these bollards, and each bollard, you know, they're tall and thin. They're very much like Yaruska's bollards here. Where's my mouse? Very much like this. But what they'd done is, and the top was round, they'd taken famous artists and they painted them in the style of that artist, like Van Gogh, for example, a picture of him, a self-portrait on the bollard. The round bit at the top was an eye with maybe a tiny bit of hair. Can you see me still? Yeah. So the round bit of the bollard was an eye with a little bit of hair and stuff, and then the neck, like here, and the rest of it going down was the body, like with a suit or a dress, but in the same style, like Picasso and everything. It's fantastic. I'll show you those shortly. But I wanted to show you 𝗏𝗏𝗏's picture. This is 𝗏𝗏𝗏 again. Look, this is really cool. Today's the day that I felt ninja. Look at this. It's so cool. She's got this mask on. Looks like she's got a face mask covering her with a shield. And she says it's the day I felt ninja. And she does. Look at her eyes there. It's a very dark and moody shot. Being grungified to hell. And she does look like a ninja, indeed. You look like one, you know, you act like one. Well, you'll end up being one, won't you? And this is Karen, who has finally received in Canada one of my puzzle pieces. It took so long to get to her. Look, there it is. And she's got a very important puzzle piece in the 9-piece puzzle you see here, because it comes from this picture here. See if I can open it up. And it's the only one with that actual round thing with a hole in it. So the idea is you adopt a puzzle piece. This is my site, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Connective. Go there and adopt a puzzle piece or more. And when you get your puzzle piece with a load of fun stuff. And then you go to this page and you try and find your puzzle. And there it is. That's her puzzle. Okay, so she looks at him. She says, that's my bit. You see this bit here in the bottom right of this picture. Oh, it's not blowing up. Yeah, there it is. In the bottom right of this picture, which should blow up, is her piece. All right, so Karen now owns this piece. She's adopted it. And it's that one there. And look at this carefully. If you haven't seen my puzzle paintings before, look at this carefully. Okay, it's the one on the left. This on the right, you see it? It looks like a different painting, but it's the same painting, the same pieces. You can arrange them in all sorts of ways. You see Karen's piece is now in the middle. You see that? It's now in the middle of the picture. It could be anywhere. It could be in any 9 of these positions, any way round. You can still build up the painting around it. So if you want to adopt an entire these are desktop size. They're beautiful for desktops. And so go for it if you want to. You can adopt these in the address which is given at the bottom there, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏2.com. But here you just adopt a single piece, and then there's all sorts of fun activities to go with that. So that's great. And one of the activities is you post a square photograph of you holding your puzzle piece, and then you go to a special group. You find all the other people, and look what happens. Little by little, you build up the puzzle. You see, when you get your piece, you take a square photograph of your puzzle piece, and I put it in the right position in relation to this configuration here. There's almost an infinite number of ways of putting these together, but I put them together. You see this lady here. This is Carolyn, and she's got the piece which is in the top right there. You click on it, and you get the big version. You see, it's so cool. This is Rob down in the bottom. He's got the bottom left piece. There he is. So you've got to be creative in taking your fun square picture with your square puzzle piece. My stuff is about connecting people and getting you to be creative. I'm not interested in just me creating and you looking at it. I want you to be creative too. So take a creative photograph of yourself. And the other ones are getting built up as well. These are the 3 that are currently being produced. I'm now producing more. So this one, for example, this more colorful one, is slowly being built up. You see 2 possible configurations, this one and this one. This is the traditional configuration I showed people, but there's any number of others. And this is another version of the same picture. See, it's exactly the same picture. And this is slowly getting built up too, you see. I've got 3 people who have sent me their square puzzle pictures. Beautiful picture there. And this one, Dorothy, she's got a postcard. She realized that the postcard that I sent her to, the postcards like this, to do the puzzle herself, even if you've only got 1 puzzle piece, you will get 3 postcards which have puzzles on them. So you can actually play, you can cut it up and play with it as if you had the entire puzzle. So she did that, and then here's Mary. Mary's being very clever, you see. She's taken a picture of herself in the mirror. So you can see the front of the puzzle piece and the back. So you can see my signature, you can see the number of the puzzle piece. Every puzzle piece has a number. And eventually you contact each other. Every person has a couple of people to contact explicitly, saying hello and being nice. That's it. So that's the final stage of this, after you've done everything else, is to get in touch with a couple of people explicitly and say, hi, I'm your puzzle piece neighbor. Really nice to know you. And you tell something interesting about yourself and you might make friends. And you end up knowing all nine people in your puzzle. How cool is that? So none of that is what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you something from 𝗖𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗓, which I've now forgotten. What was I going to show? Look at this, Dorothy. She's doing a dog. She's doing a challenge, which I initiated in the Today's the Day group. I said, if you want to do something every day for 81 days, go for it, and I'll support you. Dorothy is publishing photographs every day. And it can be flowers, it can be trees. And today, for the first time ever, it's a beautiful dog. So cute. By the way, I have a kitten with me, but I don't know where she is. Maybe I'll try and find a beautiful, cute little kitten. Say in the chat if you want to see the kitten, everyone. 𝗖𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗓 is saying she's laughing a lot, which is good. Don't know why anymore. Such a beautiful dog. So thanks for that, Dorothy. Dorothy was on my photography masterclass. So creative, great imagination. I'm still trying to remember why I was looking for Dorothy's things. This is Montmartre. This is no, why I was looking for 𝗖𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗓, picture, but I can't remember. This is Montmartre, the famous I love you wall. It says I love you in about 150 different languages. Really cool. And this is a street artist. He does these pictures on canvas and he sticks them on the walls. And that's been there for as long as I have in Paris, in any case. It used to be here. Can you see that thing next to it? It used to be here, but it kind of fell off and stuff. I interviewed him. I did a really, really nice interview with him many, many years ago in his studio. Really nice guy. And it fell off. You see that where it used to be? And she used to have a table. You see she's leaning on the table in that one? Well, oh my God, I'm trying to think here. If it was the same person or another. I think it was the same person, but here she was leaning on the table. Maybe he changed it. And then that kind of became the worse for wear. And now we have, I think, is it Rita Hayworth, someone like that? And he adds this slogan, a bit like a cartoon bubble, saying, Aimer, c'est du désordre, alors aimons. That means to love is chaos, basically. So let's love. Oh, Chris is saying kitten, kitten, kitten. Well, I can. Here comes the kitten. Brace yourselves. Is the kitten going to be more popular than me in my show? Oh. You might even hear her purring if we're lucky. This is my computer show. Look, can you see? This is a computer you want to walk over all the time. Yeah, that's right. What should we type? Should we type something? Can you see all those people watching? Look at those people. Hello, hello. She's very cute. She's very sweet. She's not mine. She's a friend's. A friend is on holiday and I'm looking after her. But she's very sweet. You know, she's very roll over and, you know, get on with scratching me, you know, stop doing other stuff. I'm here. Why aren't you scratching my tummy? So, so there you go. So should we just do 9 minutes of meditative kitten chin scratching? Would that be as good as anything? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Eh? Eye to eye, nose to nose. Oh, she's so cute. All right. Anyway, she's also got claws. Lots of them. And she sticks them in things like legs. Yeah, let me show you. Shall I show you my leg? Steady on, ladies. Don't get too excited. Here's a bit of leg coming. Now she's walking on the computer. No, that's not a good idea. There we go. You see the chaos in my room. Yeah, so she's got claws and she knows how to use them. That's for sure. Anyway, yeah. So I've got another couple of things I did want to show you, and that's basically live things which are happening. Are you going to stay there or what? Yeah, she's going to stay there in my lap. So I did want to. I'm not going to ramble on for 2 hours today. I'm not really feeling that. I'm feeling more like giving you what I've got, answering any questions, then moving on. So I did want to tell you that I've started pretty as seriously as I can doing 3 live shows a week. The first one today, it's general creativity, mine and yours. Tomorrow, on Monday, I do a photography show and I talk about my photographs and yours. So I would like you to send me your photographs. You can do it before the show, or you can do it during the show, but before the show is easier. And ask me to talk about them on the photographic show, okay? So I'm kind of getting away with weekly themes and that. I haven't done that for a while. I'm really just, maybe I'll bring them back. What do you think? But I'm gonna just talk about photographs for as much of the show as I can. Just talk about photographs and photography and answer your questions, of course. And then I started last week. You know, it's one of those things, when are you going to start? Well, soon, but not now. Well, I thought I'm getting really, really sick of starting soon. And I wanted to start now. So I did another show. It's the sister or brother show of the photography show. And it's for words, it's for writing. And I thought, what the hell am I going to talk about? Me writing what? Nobody's sent anything into the group. Well, some people do, but not many. And they don't really know what's going on, and neither do I. But then I started the show, and I just started reading some of my texts. I mean, after all, I do write every day. Yeah, I mean, this is 9 days worth of writing. There it is. This is, no, you can't even see it, can you? Have I just been showing you stuff you can't see? No, we sort of, you know, I mean, I write every day, and so can you, if you want. So, I mean, I can just talk about my writing and and take it from there. And then I can talk about poems that I love. I could talk about an article that I love and say why I like it. And of course, you guys, for example, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, who often is one of my friends who often contributes, has started this thing where she started biting me, so I'm going to put her down. Bye, 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 bye. Look, she's biting me. No, I mustn't do that. So 𝗏𝗏𝗏 has started this thing. I wonder if I can find it somewhere in 𝗏𝗏𝗏's. I don't know if she called it a name or something. Hang on, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. And it's you take the day of the week and you write a poem based on the day of the week. Is it here? Ah, that looks like. I'll open both of these and see what happens. So you take the day of the week, like Sunday, and you write something, maybe 6 lines. Each starts with the first letter of Sunday. The letter of Sunday. So here we go. Sitting quietly under the sunshades, no need to hurry. Don't even worry. Are we free? Yes, I am. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Who wrote this? 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 wrote this. Sitting quietly under the sunshades, no need to hurry. Don't even worry. Are we free? Yes, I am. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. It's great. I love it. It's really cool. I had one in my mind, but I was waiting for her to ask me to do something, and then I fired back with that really clever sort of sounding, and she never actually asked me. But I had something like, it was for Saturday. Saturday. I can't remember what it was. But the D was going to be 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Sunday, I can't read that very easily. There's others. Sound of silence, unheard, noise, darkness fades, all is calm, you feel safe. I guess it should be safe. Cool, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Sipping, this is Sunday. Is she getting two in there? Sipping my coffee under the tree. Need inspiration, desire some peace. Amazing Sunday to spend it with you. And she said she likes to finish on a U. So she likes the last word to be you, which is, which is nice. It's good, isn't it? She's got this cool theme, and then she's also got this thing which is her signature. The Y is always you, or often you. So that's nice. So much to talk about. So many things to talk about, words. Plus, I've got this huge collection of really funny wordplay things. All the bizarreries of the English language fascinate me, and I've got collections of them. So when I realized I started this thing on words on Thursday, it was a live on Thursday, and I realized I'd been an idiot for thinking I couldn't talk for an hour about words. What a joke. And I will be doing a masterclass on words, and it looks like it's getting pushed back to next autumn, unfortunately, like autumn 2021. And I would like to do a Paris retreat as well. People come to Paris and we play with words in the context of Paris for a week or 5 days. That will be so amazing. I just want to find another. This is Chris. Chris, are you still there? You're hanging on in there. So this is Chris saying a Sunday poem for 𝗏𝗏𝗏. See undernourished daisies awaken. Yippee! Undernourished daisies. Your little garden is looking fantastic, Chris. It really is. That's so cute. You've added this. Wait a minute. Some of these things seem real and some of them seem invented. I'm sure this guy wasn't sitting on your patio, was he? What's going on? And those flowers look a little bit too good, too perfect to be true. Interesting stuff. Giorgio, I don't know these people. This is 𝗏𝗏𝗏's page. Speak, always listen, though. So speak, always listen, though. Unravel mysteries and be risky. Daring and respect yourself. Great. These are nice, aren't they? Very short. It reminds me of haiku poems where you have very few words to say as much as you can, which also reminds me of my memes. You see, memes. Memes. I've written a couple of memes in the last week too. I just wrote one just now. So another thing I wanted to tell you, okay, we've got the idea of that. Another thing I wanted to tell you is that I'm forging ahead on my newsletter. Last week I did a newsletter from Monday to Friday. And the idea is there's a very short inspirational creativity tip or ponder, and that's it. So although it sounds a lot, an email every day, are you kidding me? All you have to do, if you want to get it, if you don't want to get it, then don't get it. But if you want to get it, it's only going to be a question of reading a few lines, inspiring you creatively, and that's it. So that's a pretty nice way, I think, of starting a day or of having a bit of a creative break during the day with me. My words, me, I'm there with you to inspire you. But people said, keep it short, keep it short. I said, yeah, okay, but I can't. So the first thing is a few lines. What's she eating now? Oh God. Just wondering if what she's destroying is destroyable or not. What is that? I think it's just a piece of plastic. The kitten I'm talking about, if you missed the kitten. And if you missed her, well, you've got to be paying attention. So the first section is just a few lines, very, very digestible, but still a nice, interesting, I hope, creativity boost. Then there's a second little section, which is supposed to be a little piece of my creativity to inspire you. To inspire you what? To inspire you to create, of course. And then the final section is a call to action. In other words, I just suggest you do something. because it's me. It's normally related to my groups, be creative in one of my groups, because I don't want you to I want to see what you're doing. I want to see you being creative. And I want you to see my groups as home, one of your homes on the internet, friendly homes. And then I just added last week a little box. It's a colored box, and that's what's coming up from me. So it might be, for example, the next lives, like this one will be in there. And also there'll be news of my next masterclass and my next retreat. Okay, so I hope it's good. I hope let me know if you think that's nice. And if you want to receive it, then please do go and get it. You can go to my profile, for example, here, and basically click on anything and you'll get there. For example, this link here. I'll open it in another tab, but you click on this link here. And you get to this page. You're signing up for the newsletter and for 9 ninja tips. So you get 9 ninja tips, which are really fun. They're really fun PDFs or images with a tip, a creativity tip. You get those for 9 days, plus you get my newsletter for whenever I do it. So go to that. It's infinitecreativitynow.com/newsletter. infinitecreativitynow.com/newsletter. So it's that plus newsletter. And yeah, so please sign up for that. I'm not doing it for nothing. So sign up if you have the slightest interest in it. Please sign up, and please show it to friends as well. Get friends to sign up if you can, because it's all an effort. I try to make it as good as possible and to inspire you. And then I wanted to tell you also about, that's me now. So this is the writing chat. I think it's going to happen on Thursday evenings for me, about 7 o'clock in the evening for me, Paris time. Ah, look, there's the cat. The cat was there in that show as well. I started off that show with the cat to try and get people to keep watching. You see? So sly. And then we had, right, so this is interesting. This is new. I started last week. Why did I start last week? Because I wanted to start as opposed to not start. Same as the writing. Last week, I started my writing live shows, and I started my infinite chat shows. My infinite what shows? My infinite chat shows. What are my infinite chat shows? I chat with someone for an hour about their creativity and mine, but basically theirs. So for example, this person is called Sandra. And she is a coach, but she's also an artist, an abstract artist. So we talked for an hour about art, about abstract art, about what drives us and her, of course. And I'm not a fan of interviews where it's like one person's there, the interview asks them a question, they answer, the interview asks them another question, they answer. For me, it's a conversation. It can only ever be like that. So we had a conversation, and I mean, it's not even a big sort of promotional exercise for them. I mean, I say what they do. I show their websites, no problem. But it's really fundamentally about, let's talk about something we're passionate about together. And we did. So that was really good. So if you know anybody who has a creative passion, it doesn't matter, what you think your credentials or your level is in it. It doesn't matter. If you spend a lot of time creating something, and I'm not really talking about creating businesses, or creating happiness. I want it to be something where you get your hands dirty, or you get your, it could be writing, it could be painting, it could be photography, it could be cooking, it could be sculpting, it could be doing some strange hobby, like creating weird sculptures or something. My next guest, who is called Nina Lockwood, created this amazing thing. I'm not sure what she called it, like a sort of memory pyramid or something. She created this structure, and it had 4 sides. It has 4 sides. And you go around it, and each side is full of little knickknacks and drawers and memorabilia of her entire life. And it's very touching. And she's thinking of showing people how to do that as an actual course. So that sort of thing, anything that you do creatively, if you think you'd like to talk about the creative process and your creations for an hour or so, then that would be wonderful. You could be a guest. So as you can see, I've been very busy and it's been fun. And there you go. So that, I think, I'm going to stop there. It's, it's been fun, and I'd like it not to be, too long if it doesn't have to be. So thank you for taking part. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. And if you're watching on the replay, I'd love to see and hear your comments, and I will comment on your comments when I see that you've commented. And this will be happening. My aim is for every Sunday evening, my time, Paris time, an hour or two, just talking about creativity in all its wonderful, crazy, terrible guises. And Monday we'll be talking about photography. And actually, photography is my next free 5-day challenge in the photography group, plus a 9-week photography masterclass. And next year, I'm planning a photography retreat in Paris, is my next stuff that's coming up that you can actually book on. And then I'm planning, and then on the Thursday, it's going to be up to an hour of chat about words and writing. And I'm planning there'll be a 5-day challenge in the writing group as soon as I get around to that, and followed by a masterclass. But I'm feeling that's not for quite yet. I want to really, really make sure it's as good as I want it to be, as good as the photography masterclass. But I am thinking that I'm going to be able to get my first version of my creativity masterclass out for next winter, spring, maybe around January, February time, which will be exactly the same style layout as the photography masterclass, like 9 weeks, a couple of weeks break, video trainings and stuff. But it'll be on the creative process, and you will be creating something. It's just, it doesn't have to be photography. On the photography group, it's photography. In the writing group, in the writing masterclass, it's writing. In the creativity masterclass, you bring the topic, you bring the thing you want to create. And over the 9 weeks, we explore creativity and we push you ahead in that project so that you finish the 9 weeks with a completed project in 9 weeks. It's not like there's another creativity thing that I do sometimes in January, and it's called Creating the Impossible with Michael Neal, and it's wonderful, but that's not what I'm going to do. That's very free. Maybe you create something, maybe you don't, you explore and stuff. I love a lot of that, but I felt that I wanted to have you finish something by the end of the 9 weeks. You will finish something. That's my promise. If you don't finish, you can carry on going until you do, or you can do the next time we do it. So I'm really excited about that, because you bring a creative project. You don't, on the creative masterclass, you're going to come with your project. You're not coming with no idea. Although the first week will be getting clear on your project, you've got to come with a project. But it can be anything. It could even be photography or writing, although it seems like it would be more logical to do the photography or writing masterclass. But it doesn't matter. Absolutely not. You could come with any creative project in your mind, and we go through it from the beginning to the end. You have a mission. Everything is tailored for you to achieve that mission, that doable, exciting but doable mission, by the end of the 9 weeks, and have a beautiful display or presentation of what you've created in a wonderful group. So that's that. I don't know when it's going to happen for the you see the cat going by, looking for another part of my sofa to destroy. So I'm thinking the creative one will happen next January, February, probably January, because it's like people like starting things in January, don't they? It won't be the first. So that'll probably be cool. And I'm really excited about that. And I'm really excited about the photography class, which is starting again in September. Go to this page. Please go here. Go to infinitecreativitynow.com, and you will see this. And you've got early bird booking is now open. All right, so you click there. It's starting at the end of September. I think it's end of September. Before that, in the photography group, there will be a simple 5-day challenge. Very simple to get you in the mood. There'll be the 5-day challenge. Then there'll be 1 week of relaxing and a final boost to get people on the masterclass. Then the masterclass will start. And the 5-day challenge will be free. You see, it says there's 47 days until we start. All right, so it's coming. It used to be 60, now it's 47. It is going. And there are limited places because I give personal attention to everybody. So I have to change this slightly to bring it up to date because I've just done this program. So this was created before I did the program for the first time. So I probably change a few things, but fundamentally, you know, it's kind of the same. It's just less messy because it's been created now. Yeah, there's lots of nice fun text. There's nice photographs telling you why you will do it, why you should do it, what you'll get out of it, how wonderful it is, how fun it is. It's very interactive, very personalized. You have a gallery. You get a gallery, your own gallery at the end of this and throughout. You're building your gallery up week after week. Every week has a theme. As you can see, there are modules. Module 1, discover the joy of photography. Module 2, master your camera and apps. That was amazing. Module 3 is the core module. Compose your photos like a pro. Module 4 is the advanced module. Develop your photographer's eye. This is what makes the difference between truly masterful photography and just competent. And then module 5 is about presenting your work and finishing. It was just so exciting. I loved it. There are bonuses and there you go. And people telling you about what I paid people to write something about how wonderful it is working with me. No, I'm joking. All right, so there you go. Take action. You don't take action, nothing happens. If you do take action, wonderful things happen. So there you go. Lots of exciting things happening. Thank you for being part of my universe. Thank you for letting me be part of yours. And I will see you again soon. I've got another comment. Yaruska's saying, yay, masterclass. Yeah, well, I mean, you can join the masterclass again if you like, if you want to do it again, because she's already done it. That is a possibility. So you could either do the photography one again, if you like, or if you want something completely new for your investment, you could go for the photography, the creativity masterclass, but that's going to start in probably the end of January. I think I talk too much. I don't drink coffee anymore. Black coffee, black clothes, black magic, black rose. I bought this. I couldn't believe how amazing it was. There's a skull. Can you see the skull? And I couldn't believe how amazing this was. I got it from the catacombs, the Paris Catacombs Museum, which you go down into the ground to admire the bones of 8 million Parisians. Nice thing to do on a Sunday afternoon, isn't it? Scare the kids, give them nightmares forever. And this mug was there to be bought. I mean, I could have gone for the skull keyring, but I drink a lot of warm beverages, so I thought I'd go for that instead. So thanks a lot. Yay, masterclass. Thanks a lot, everyone, for watching. It's been fun. Short and sweet today for my SABSANG. We'll see how it goes. And I'll talk to you again soon. Maybe even tomorrow. If you want to show me, if you want to give me some photographs for me to talk about, analyze, and friendly critiques tomorrow, then please send them into the photography group, the Creative Smartphone Photography group. I'm going to go and finish my Sunday in a rather relaxed way now. Thanks for watching, and talk to you again soon. Bye for now. I'll show you the cat now. Come here. Yes. So me and Kitty say bye-bye. This is Baya. She's called Baya. She's not my cat. It's called Baya, and apparently it means pearl in Arabic. You guys must be having quite a hard time trying to decide who's the cutest right now, right? Me or Baya? I know. Yoruska is finishing by making some sort of nationalistic claim. The cafe, Peru cafe, is the best. You're Peruvian, right? Thanks, Sab. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure to be here each time. Hope you got something out of it. Hope it was fun for you. Yoruska's not got English as a really main language that she speaks. She speaks French and, of course, South American Spanish, but she has to listen to me going blah, 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 and she doesn't even speak English that much. About as much as my Spanish, actually. Bye for now. Talk to you again soon.